So that means sometimes giving them a tent and a sleeping bag and setting them up in the woods, which is difficult, but it's better than not having something.
Well, some of the housing usually they don't have income, and some of the housing properties here they don't take sex offenders, so they don't take people with felonies, and it's hard because we can, that's the easy way for them to start, from the bottom, and because they base in income, the rent. So if they can go there, it's very hard. Usually they got minimum wage pay. And it's very, very hard, to be able to pay a regular rent, with their income. So most of the time, they just can't find part-time. So if they disqualify for low-income housing, it's very difficult. If they qualify, it can be like from 1 to 5 years waiting list.
I think that's one of the biggest challenges is how long it takes, how many people are needed, and how long the waiting lists are for these programs.
The waiting lists are usually long.
Yeah.
Up to 5 years, and then when the number come out, they got bad and credit, usually, with their substance abuse and mental health, they usually don't pay cell phones, so they got electricity bill on their name, and they can be, denied based on their credit history too.
And then the stigmatism of them having any type of criminal history makes it difficult because some people don't want anything to do with that. Regardless of how old it is or whatever.
If they are sex offenders, we have to be very, very careful because, where are we going to refer them? Because some of the times they can't, even though the landlord are okay with it, they have, families with children. We have a few landlords that are willing to, but that's because of the units. There's only single individuals living there. So then they're able to accommodate our clients. Landlords are very reluctant to give that person a chance. But a lot of them work with them. They always want to know if they're connected with services. A lot of our clients are connected with outpatient services or with a case manager. And when they know that, they're more willing to give that person a chance. We have landlords that are renting a 1-bedroom. They are like $600. And like Lucy said, and they have to pay for their own utilities. So that becomes a problem. So what we try to do is we try to contact the electric company and try to work a plan, and also contact Wayne, Catholic Charities to see if they can help with the bill, and that way they can. And there's a lot of resources. We always find a way to help them, but it's a challenge. They have to jump around a lot of hoops to be able to get there, but we try to be the cheerleaders and help them as much as we can. A lot of them, where they're incarcerated, they are very active. They're cooking, so they can find jobs cooking, or they work in the kitchen washing dishes. They can find a job. They can put that in an application. It's how they put in the application. We try to help them, train them how to do one interview so they can get that job and they're more hireable. If the fact that they are working, I think the landlords are going to be more than willing to give them a chance, because if they have no income, they're not going to be able to pay, so they're not going to take that risk. So we try to be creative with landlords, and we have a great rapport with them. And we have a whole list of landlords that we contact. We know who to contact depending on the person. We try to find a good match for them because we don't want to set them up, to fail. We have clients that unfortunately they only have an income of $219, which is called SAGA cash. It's cash they receive from the Department of Social Services. If that's their only income, really we have our hands tied, because no landlord is going to be able to rent to that person. Doesn't matter how likable they are, it's going to be hard. And a lot of people who receive the $219 are people that are not able to work because they're trying to get Social Security disability benefits. So it's a challenge when we have people with very little income. Sometimes our clients, when they come out of jail, it could be traumatizing for them, and you never know what they went through in there, and they're not ready to start working. So adding work to their schedule could be more stressful.
I didn't affect our services because it's hard. They even realize that the 211, that's why they want to house people, even though they got some substance abuse, like they're still active users. They prefer to be housed because they realize when somebody have addiction and they got a house, it's more easy to stop using or control it versus when the person is in the street homeless. They want to house first, and that's why they call it housing first.
I think the amount of people that need housing services is one of the big issues. Would you agree? That there's so many people that are in need that's why those lists are so long, and the wait times for people in between is frustrating for them.
It's hard to stay clean, sober, when you don't even have clean clothes, or you go or you sleep it outside. So it's hard. More housing, more opportunities when people came out of jail, and like maybe it's a match, and some other places they do that. I think with parole, that they the state will engage with the client and say, I match you paycheck, and so people, places like Walmart, give them more opportunities because it's going to be a vicious cycle. They come out of jail, they don't have any job, they don't have anything, so they don't have housing, no money, they commit another crime because they just, I got one of the clients, they just steal batteries for his radio because he was outside, and toothpaste, simple stuff. Maybe if we match and find a small little job, they will be able to
I think if more people continue to donate to the shelters or to things like toothpaste and stuff like that, that would be a good help. You think about what is a tube of toothpaste cost, right? You buy a coffee every day, that's $2.50, and that's like 2 tubes of toothpaste for somebody that doesn't have it, and it's a big deal. Just being a little bit more compassionate. People are not compassionate enough, or empathetic, I guess the word is, where they see somebody and they automatically think it's one thing, and it's not necessarily always the case, right? We have a wide variety of clients, from people that had everything you could want and traveled the world, to people that have had issues since they were kids. I mean, it's not just one type of person. I think that's a big stigma that's out there. Providing support, going to the soup kitchen, like all those little things that we all think, I think it makes a big difference, don't you?
Yeah, it is.
They love that because they just see that people care. That's sometimes all they need. They could donate to the soup kitchen, to Wames.
They got a program that they help people with used clothes. They help on persons to get ID. They need ID. They also have a program that they help with utilities, and the gas and the power. And a little bit of housing.
They have furniture, dishes, backpack. I mean, they have everything.
They have a whole closet. It's for people who are trying to go for a job interview, and they can go in there and just get whatever they want once a month.
And like I just said, every little, when you clean out your closet, if you think about it as a girl, right? When you clean out your closet and you make the bag and you dump it in the box, wherever, you could just bring it down there, and it would be going to your community.
And it's free.
And it's free for them, right? They don't charge them, which is the nice part.
And it helps people that are homeless. They all the time they can wash sometimes, so they go there and they clean clothes because they got a voucher from the shelter, but it's every 2 weeks that they can do laundry, one load. Imagine like one load every 2 weeks, and if they're homeless, they don't have any place to place their clothes. So most of the clothes are gonna be dirty. So sometimes they go there and pick up some clothes, and they can go through the week with clean clothes.
That's the hardest part that I notice, is the waiting part, is they get hopeless and frustrated. Especially when it's cold out.
Because it's only one shelter, and they're supposed to accommodate like 35 beds, and sometimes last winter was 45, 55, and if they don't have a bed, they just sleep in the floor on chairs.
And depending on how long they were away, depends on how they adjust too.
Yeah.
So if they're away for a year, it's different than if they're away for 17 years, because they come out and everything. Think about it. They think it's like cassette tapes, and they didn't have internet, and now everything's on this phone, and it's hard for them to adjust. There's so many people that are in need that's why those lists are so long, and the wait times for people in between is frustrating for them.
And
And
they-
it's hard.